Hey everyone, I'm here in my car outside the library. I'm a writer, so I spend a lot of my time there. And I wanted to make a video about Gloria Steinem's condescending attitude towards women. Yes, that's right, Gloria Steinem and mainstream feminism's condescending attitude towards women. Gloria Steinem has defined a liberated woman as someone who has sex before marriage and a job after. That's what constitutes human liberation for one half of the human race. Now, throughout the course of Western civilization, starting in ancient Greece, people have been pondering what real human freedom is. First of all, what human beings are, and what human freedom truly is, taking into account all the aspects of a person, their mind, their spirit, their heart, all the different aspects of a person. People have been trying to figure out what human freedom really means. Now, Gloria Steinem in mainstream feminism thinks that for half the human race, human freedom means having sex before marriage and a job after. That's what constitutes women's liberation. I wonder if that applies to men too. Is their liberation having sex before marriage and a job after? Is that all women need for liberation and freedom and human flourishing? Are we really such simple creatures? So what Steinem's quote shows is this sort of condescending attitude that the counterculture and mainstream feminists have towards women. They'll put it, the women were defined in this small little way, but then in that small definition, we're told you can have a job, you can do this, but we're defined in a very, very small way. All we need is sex before marriage and a job after. And we've solved the age-old question of human freedom for women. As a woman, I'm 100% sure that that does not constitute a woman's liberation. Since I'm not just an object, since I'm a full human being and a rational being equal to a man, there are many more needs in my nature than to have sex before marriage and a job after. That does not constitute my human freedom, or the human freedom of any other woman, or any other human being for that matter. And when Gloria Steinem defines women in that way, she's actually she's making the differences between men and women more important than what men and women have in common. What men and women have in common is a rational nature, which means they have human consciousness. We know that we exist. We're autonomous moral agents with the ability to reason. That's what men and women have in common. So to reduce women down to having sex before marriage and a job after is really an objectification of women, and it's reducing them. I just wish that sort of view of women wasn't called feminism in the public square. And even more than that, I wish that we weren't intellectually bullied and told we have to believe what Gloria Steinem says and what mainstream feminists say, that our liberation is abortion and contraception and whatever Gloria Steinem says. So if I disagree with her, I'm anti-woman. I'm conducting a war on women. That sort of rhetoric makes me distrust mainstream feminists even more. Because if somebody has a well-thought-out position on something and someone disagrees with them, they won't feel the need to call them names or accuse them of things. They'll simply listen to the other person's argument and then they'll argue against it in a rational and concise way. So, mainstream feminists have to show more respect to women and not tell them what to think. They should allow women to entertain alternate points of view, and they should accept alternate points of view, and that would make a movement that is truly tolerant, because it tolerates other points of view and is willing to debate them, rather than just calling people who disagree with them extremists, or conducting a war on women, or they hate women. I can't take a movement seriously that does that. I would need them to rationally refute those who disagree with them. Okay, so for women and for men, human freedom is something very complex that certainly can't be reduced to having sex before marriage and a job after. Sorry, Gloria Steinem, but you and the men of the counterculture don't define me and don't define all women. And Gloria Steinem, if you read her books, she doesn't really have any well thought out good arguments for what she says. It's just basically she's like a counterculture celebrity that just repeats the same old counterculture ideas. Okay, thanks.